Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a slower step to our video. Instead of having a time lapse where we're run through an hour long worth of video, what we're going to do is we're going to break it down to one specific area of the tropical island painting in focus, and we're going to work on the water. I enjoy painting the water. As you can tell, many of my paintings have some kind of water structure in the picture, and as such, it's fun to paint. Not only is water always changing, but you can hardly mess it up. As long as you get the one rule that nature never has straight lines, and you get your values and your tones correct, you're going to be able to hit water pretty spot on. And today, what I would like to do is show you my technique. It's a pretty good technique, I think, as far as how we produce a photorealistic painting. What we include in this is just the different levels at which we progress through the water process. It's much like the rest of the part of the picture. As long as we get that mid-tone overall value, then we know where the color is at. And then we come along with the highlights and the shadows to really bring in that three-dimensional effect. You know, they say that painting a two-dimensional picture is hard. Well, it's not so hard as long as we can nail the values and the tones of our shadows and our darkness. It's going to round itself out. Our brains are smart enough that even if we don't see a real picture, our brains are going to put together what we believe it to be because we have the experience of seeing it most times in person. So hopefully you enjoy the video. Hopefully you can learn something from this video. Stay tuned to the end and we'll continue the video out. Before we start this episode, I thought it'd be interesting to see my actual reference photo of the tropical island scene. As you can tell, there's a lot of good variance in color within this particular photograph. You have the brilliance of the aquas and the teals and the water down below, and it transitions into the vast amounts of greens that we see in the midground, and then it fades back into the transition of the sky, and we get those teals and blues again. But I thought it'd be interesting just for a point of view as before we get into the work, you can see what I see as I'm constructing the actual picture. As we begin our work here, you can already tell that I'm changing the subject around a little bit. I had laid down some darker values in the water corner here to where it got a little bit too dark. I didn't feel like it was a good representation of the photo. We had a lot of brilliance and a lot of lighter tones in there. So what I started off with doing is kind of blocking out that darker tone that I put in there to begin with. The great thing about working with oil paints is that they remain open for such a long time. If you're unhappy with something, you can just go in and change it up. And as you can see here, I take out that darker color that I was unhappy with. I come in with some titanium white and a little bit of turquoise with different values and different shades to re-implement that mid-tone that is a better representation of our light source, which is coming from the right. Because it's coming from the right, to keep our perspective in check, we have to make sure that our light values kind of fade away or transition into darker areas as we swing away from the light source. So I fade out the dark areas that I put in with some lighter tones. I get those adjusted where I'm comfortable with, and then following that I'll come in with some light colors to represent where the seashore is coming into the shoreline there, whether it be the shallower water, whether it be the sand mixing with the water, or whether it be the water with shell or whatnot. We have some lighter tones that are coming in there that need to be represented. To get a two-dimensional object to look three-dimensional, we have to come in with a full roundness of our three tones, our mid-tone, our high values, and our low values, so that we can get a full picture of photorealism. So after blocking out the tone I was unhappy with, I come in with the light tones, get those highlights in there a little bit, not to the full value to where the end painting will be. I want to save those higher values, the real bright light brights until the end so we can put the kind of the icing on the cake. But I'll come in with those lighter values, and then I'll go into the darker values. And these darker values represent all manners of things. It could be just a little bit deeper water. It could be some substances that are in the water, that the elements of plant life, or the darker sand. Whatever the case may be, the shadows need to be implemented for that fullness. And once I get that in there, I get to a point where I'm happy with this little area of the painting. Then I'll start working myself back out to the end. I'll save that for another video, but enjoy the video. You'll see my technique. You'll see the process of establishing a photorealism within a painting. As always, if you have any questions regarding my techniques or how I go about it or the colors I use or whatnot, feel free to put them in the comment sections at the end of the video. Enjoy the video, and we'll close the video out when we get to the end. Well, as you can see, when putting together water is a little bit complicated if you're going for that photorealism. If you're just going for an overall feel, then much is to be said about the smaller brushes not being needed. With photorealism, though, it often gets down to those individual pixels and individual lines that really bring out the full picture. My chosen style, as you already may know, is to produce something that looks as real as we can get. So in that, we do have the smaller lines. We do have the finer details that need to be placed. But all in all, like I said at the ending of the video, when we take a step back, all those smaller lines kind of blend in together, and it produces something that we can generally feel through our brain's efforts is being the real thing. Hopefully you learned something from this video. Like I said, it's not that difficult. Let me challenge you. If you've ever had the aspirations to paint, pick up some paintbrushes, pick up something to paint on, and pick up the paint and give it a crack. See what you can do. For me, it's been a 30-year love-hate relationship, as I said, and it didn't come overnight, but slowly you get better, and slowly you progress, and slowly you'll start to see yourself develop into something that you're proud of and something that you're happy with, something that you can be hanging on your wall or maybe giving it away as a present. So until next time, enjoy the content. Do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe button down bottom. Share the video if you want. I think that as we grow this channel, these videos are going to get better. I'm going to produce better content for you. Write down in the comments what you'd like to see. That would always help me out as far as which direction I can go. As my intent, as I stated, my intent is to not only entertain, but to hopefully somewhere along the line to teach something so where you can do it yourself. So until next time, God bless and have a good day.